move silent, market crack. Profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex. Numbers dance, what's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. West fact buzzing, traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, Lee got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures his domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads. Fibonacci maps the seeds. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guide. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run.
Lee wakes at dawn to a glowing screen. Charts and candles, the digital sheen. Open in range, his weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine. Bank moves, he mimics, he plays their game. Near a version, glorious his claim to fame. Market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leads the master filling his bankroll. Leads the master filling his bankroll. His mind's a map of supply and demand, turning charts to gold with a steady hand. Forex flows like rivers in his plan. Bases bow to the market man. Break out at the open, the strategy's tight. Position for the swing, he wins the fight. Risk is measured, the balance precise. Leads on the rise, he rolls the market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and
Good
points.
morning. How are we all doing? Happy Thursday, which is a bit of a weird day, isn't it? Because I don't normally do Thursdays. So anyway, morning, Becky, Marco, Road, how we doing? Right, so this morning we're going to have a quick look at what's gone on with the news, the Swissy specifically. We're going to trade the DAX as usual, go over the position trader account, do the usual stuff. So this morning's main news, or rather this week's main news, basically the Australian dollar had fairly bearish news, which was good. That's come down. ADP non-farm employment change was very, very bearish. It was forecast 49. We got a 41. It's not massively bearish. It's still bearish, but which indicates potentially we could have drops in the unemployment rate on Friday. It is forecast to drop 0.1%, but this is kind of a little bit of a gauge into what goes on the unemployment rate with non-farm employment change as well. So potentially we might have some bearish price action coming through on Friday for the dollar. CPI came out this morning for the Swiss, and if we have a look at the Swissy, Swiss is probably the best thing. Just get that Christmas line off. As you can see, there's not really a massive impact off of the back of that today, so nothing really to report there. Aussie Swiss, you can see a bit clearer that price action, but nothing really exciting. It was a no impact news event. So we got the forecast. So there's potential for them to drop the interest rates as we are down at zero. If we were going negative, I'd say they definitely would. We've had some much bigger moves on the Swiss today, but nothing much. So all we've got coming up today is unemployment claims. Let's have a quick look at how the DAX is open this morning. So move to the upside on the DAX, just filling the gap from yesterday. It's a little bit clearer over here. So that's the gap from yesterday. Where's my pen gone? So that was yesterday's official close on the DAX. So we just basically just filling that gap from yesterday at the moment. So we'll see where we go. But I've got some stuff to close out on the position trader account this morning, which I'm going to do now. So I've got the Dow in shorts at the moment. We had a very nice drop on that yesterday. So I had two positions on the Dow. I'm going to close this one out this morning just because we've hit support. I've got over 0.5% on it as a shorts, which is pretty good. There is a potential for it to come further down and fill this gap. We've got a propulsion gap here on the Dow. But I don't like the way we are reacting this morning in the last hour in Globex at that low from Tuesday. I'm on the wrong day. Normally on Friday, that would be Wednesday. And we're also down at the double weekly resistance. So we've got this double level here, which we've tested a couple of times. It's not far away. So I think even if we move down today on the Dow, there's potential that they're going to rebuy this propulsion move today at some point, probably at the open, obviously. So I'm going to shut the Dow completely. That's going to just stick that straight in the bank. Everything else is running as normal on the position trader account. Got three now on DAX. DAX obviously is pretty lively at the moment. We've had a very strong push to the upside on the DAX. Unusual because all the other indices aren't doing this. But yeah, so very nice strong push for the last week on the DAX. We are very extended. If we look at it on a daily chart, we're up multiple days in a row. This is now day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight up. Although obviously end of last week, you can't really take into account, but it's opened very, very strong. So we're looking for that pullback to start at some point. Usually when you get 5, 6 days in a row with one direction, you tend to get that pullback or correction happening. If you look at the statistics on it, on the DAX, we are on 10 bull days. So higher highs, higher lows. They don't have to be green candles. They just have to be higher highs, higher lows. But we've had 9 bear streaks intra-session. So the sessions for the DAX have actually been down, but it's been gapping up and putting in higher highs constantly every day. So it is very bullish at the moment. So I'm looking for a pullback on this. It's a long way for it to drop at the moment. So, you know, testing the previous session and yesterday's low are on the cards today. If we're going to get a pullback on this leg, obviously today we are going to fail with an upside auction and just come back down and correct that to a certain degree. We've got all these propulsion gaps to the downside to come and fill as well. So I'm looking for a short bias today, but we'll see where we go. Let's just see where we've gone at the open. Yeah, so long on the ORB this morning. Obviously, we're up in the clouds. So upside target is just 2R on the initial opening range. Yesterday's actual high is exactly where we're breaking into. So there's quite a good chance that this might just stall out straight away today and immediately put a reversal in, which is fine. Obviously, if that fails, we go short and then we get out down here. See where we go. Morning, Peter. Morning, Manoy. Why are you holding DAX? These trades from previous ORB sessions? No, this is the position trader account. This is nothing to do with opening. Oh, sorry, wrong one. This is nothing to do with. I will find the right terminal. There we go. This account is nothing to do with ORB scalping. This is position trading. So this is the position trader account. So there's all the weekly results from position trading, basically. So this is a totally different system. All covered in the academy. If you don't know what position trading is, go and do the MST Academy. There's a whole module on it in there. Bootcamp. Go and watch these 3 videos, yeah, in the academy. Yeah, that tells you what position trading is, what it does for you as a trader, and the 3 main rules for it. And then obviously if you want to learn intricate details, it's all covered there in the academy. Right, so we'll see how we get on at these highs with the ORB. If we break through that, obviously it's wherever it wants to go this morning to the upside. So on a daily, we're up at the all-time highs now, aren't we? I think they're all times, yeah. So we're up at all-time highs now. We've broken out. So how far can we go today before the market stalls is the question. So we're outside that previous day's high. So we'll see if they hold this. If this comes crashing down quickly, I'd be looking for today to be the pullback day. See where we go. Right, so yeah, to just quickly cover what I got on position trading wise. So many tabs. This is the wrong chart. I've got so many platforms open. I will find the right platform. So yeah, so up at the moment on the last quarter, 37%, which is fantastic. We haven't had any real squeezes in the last quarter. We have. I just have got out of them. I haven't been involved in anything that's been really, really squeezy. So main issue at the moment is still US dollar CAD. So it's not an issue because I scaled out of a lot of it, as you can see. So that is now back above break even. So actually I might do some, might close some of that out and just see what. These are all small positions. So I might just shut that. US dollar CAD. We've got non-farm payroll coming tomorrow. So when the unemployment rate hits, it's either going to be massively bullish or massively bearish for the dollar. So if you look at the chart on this, I've already banked on it. So that was the first entry, second, third, fourth. Then we had fifth, sixth, seventh. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4 drawdown controls done and 2 profits on it. So the trade's actually in profit overall. And that break even basically is just on the remainder. So these have all had drawdown control. They've all had 50% drawdown controls done on them. So this basically break even trade here is just getting out of the position that went wrong after taking profits. So there's absolutely no reason really to hold this. We are up in RSI territory, meaning that there's potentially a short coming. So just going to close that whole US dollar CAD out. That's gone. So there's problem erased. Euro odds not in drawdown. That's at break even. CAD Swiss is a single. Aussie CAD is a single. Aussie New Zealand is 2, but at break even. Oil's in profit and Euro Pound is in profit as singles. So just going to quickly look at those 2. So I might close out those. And it is bearish. It's very bearish, but we're coming up to RSI for shorts as well. So yeah, I'm just going to take that euro pound off, stick it in the bank. Oil as well. We've got a lot going on with oil at the moment. My TP is down at these lows. Obviously, with what's going on with Venezuela and Trump, not just nicking the president, but also nicking their oil. He's stealing all the oil tankers now. It's difficult to know what is going to happen with oil. So I don't really want to look a gift horse in the mouth. It's just basically a nice quick short from the RSI extension back here. So that long there, I got out because we got extended and it immediately flipped short. Took a little bit of heat on it, and it's been sitting around break even for over a week now, and it's in profit. There's absolutely no point in holding for that. The difference in P&L holding for that and going for glory, or it going back into break even, is just pointless. So I might as well just take that as well. So 1.6 in the bank today. DAX is the only issue. So it's not really an issue. It's just the only trade that's in multiples at the moment. It's only in 3. The average trade is 4. So it's just a trade underway at the moment. And obviously we've got a good chance with an embedded RSI of that move starting to form, haven't we? So we're looking for that collapse. Yeah. Pullbacks into there. We've got lots of different ways you can read this at the moment. That whole move there, potentially, this is a lovely fib, isn't it? You can really see that well. I haven't used the fib on this terminal, obviously. So that level there, basically, you've got your entire move for the last 2 weeks. Basically, we've had no pullback on it whatsoever. So we've got a gap here, which hasn't been filled yet. So the likelihood is that we will do a 50% retracement gap fill at some point back down into here. So where I am with my average, which is sitting just below the 23 retracement, above this massive propulsion gap here, that propulsion gap is going to be first target to the downside. And my average obviously is above that. So I don't have a problem holding this short at the moment at all. Just waiting for them to take profit on the leg. Upside rejection looks like it. Oh no, it's gone. So 15 minutes straight up on the DAX. Coming into 20 now. It's Harold. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Hello, Harold. I know you didn't position trade indices before, so just... Oh, right, yeah. I have position traded indices, just don't do it that often. I'm just trying to diversify the portfolio, basically, at the moment, with non-correlated instruments. So just going to watch this ORB because... whenever we're making new highs, it's always... I'm always a little bit worried about making new highs because most of the time when we make new highs, they fail. So as that, yeah. So you when you've made a new high, the market just runs out of sellers in this case, and you tend to collapse back down again. Yeah. So you kind of make a new high. Yesterday was a day where we actually had a lovely trend form on the new highs, but most of the time when you form a new high, the day tends to stall out. So you've done your high and that's what you get. You don't usually get these trend days. So I'm just going to take a partial on that. And I'm going to lock in the rest of the trade because I just don't trust it. Especially after having a rally like that, we've had multiple days where we are just pushing and pushing and pushing. Statistically, after a 10 bull streak, you're going to start to run out of steam at some point. Obviously, stock indices go up. We know that. So there is a high probability it will carry on. But also intraday, you've got to look at, 15-minute push at the open. It's either something else going on, isn't it? Or it's just going to run out of steam and collapse very quickly. Two large propulsion gaps. So if you're looking for buys, additional buys, that'll be long. That'll be a long. If it comes back to the previous close and retests that, you can play a range off of this. But we are now fully bulls in control. We've had 3 bull candles, all closed within 30% of the highs. So the bulls are firmly in control of the market at the moment. So if you want to look for a reversal on this, wait for a pause and a pull. And that'll be your short. But watch these areas for bounce plays. Previous session high is there. And your previous daily high, as we know, is there. So, don't like it sticking out the top there. So we've had a gap down today. A very, very small gap down. The average gap down is 76. We got 13.7. So it's only 6% of ADR. So basically we opened pretty much where we closed yesterday. Statistically, gap close is obviously going to happen because we've got tiny ones and we've done the gap closes already. So there's nothing statistically you can really take from today. I'm just looking for some opportunities to get in shorts, but targeting wise on the way down today, if we're going to put a bear day in today, we'll be testing that previous session low and the previous daily low. So there's a massive risk reward opportunity today. You can see the risk reward on this is pretty much just shy of 1.4. I mean, that's a big stop. But if you can catch the top of this move, if it is going to be a bear day today, you've got a very high risk reward, 1.7, 1.8, something like that. So there's your first pause candle gone in. First indecision there. So if we get an inside bar here, that's a 1 minute symmetrical triangle. So you can take a break with that being the high of the day. Potentially look at this as being the returning point. It could well, however, just be a pullback. So you'd be looking for continuation longs out there if you're a bull. But 10-day streak, I'd be less inclined to be a bull today because this thing's exhausted. We will see. Right, so just quickly looking at RSIs and ADRs today. There's a couple of ADRs. Aussie dollar yen. So that's already done 125 ADR during the Asian session. If you look at all these odd pairs, so pound New Zealand, euro New Zealand, euro odd yen, it's been a fairly turbulent session for the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. Commodities markets getting a bit of hammering. Oil obviously is in turmoil at the minute a little bit with what's going on. So some fairly big moves there. So that Aussie yen, you've got a reversal alert opportunity on that. It's a little bit of a weird one because that really, I mean, this, I would take that long there rather than waiting for the reversal alert. That's your W pattern. If this is the end at 125 ADR, we're going to push back up and test that area where we opened. This is really where the correction is, isn't it? This is your W here. So that is a pretty good long opportunity there. Fairly low risk, decent reward on it. The others we've got are euro odd. That's extended. That just tapped in. You've had the reversal alert on it. Again, the M pattern's in. That's your M pattern reversal there. So again, looking for a push back down in filling these propulsion gaps, which is what we always do. Euro New Zealand. Again, lovely tight contraction at the top there. Reversal alert's a little bit far away on that one. So you could look at a break of that low as being initial entry. You could add on the break and get 2 trades on for a short out of that. That's already done its average daily range. Pound New Zealand as well, the same thing. Euro New Zealand, Pound New Zealand, same pair, just trade one or the other. New Zealand dollar yen, that's the same as the Aussie dollar yen. So again, just trade one or the other. Interesting, you got divergence on this one. So we've got an RSI putting in higher lows, and we've got price putting in lower lows. So that is bullish divergence. So if you look at that W pattern there, and then you compare that to the W pattern that we've got on the Aussie yen, that's where your divergence is. So we've got a bullish finish close there, and obviously divergence on the other. So both of these looking like they do want to go long. So nice trade opportunities on Aussie yen and New Zealand yen. RSI extensions. The DAX obviously massively extended, as we know, because obviously we've had that multi-day run. So 4-hour RSI extension is now over 90. The 90 level, obviously, if you look at the 90 level, whenever we get up into this sort of territory, it's not long before you get that drop, that correction coming in. That was a bit of an anomalous one, that one, because obviously it was part of this massive V-shaped move. You got the correction in there, but it was a bit tricky one. Didn't quite get there on that occasion, but just look at statistically corrections coming in. It's just when it may not happen today, but you are very nicely extended for short opportunities there. The US dollar CAD as well. So as I say, I've just got out of my US dollar CAD long trades. We're coming up into the 4-hour propulsion gap, which is where we resold. They've broken through that level. Dollar strong. What's going on in Venezuela, I was expecting that, but markets obviously backing Trump. Obviously, if you're going to steal all the oil from Venezuela, it makes money. So yeah, dollar's going to strengthen, isn't it? Because they've got a load of oil they weren't expecting that they can flog. But anyway, 175 ADR today. Unlikely we'll get there, but if we did get there, you want to watch that point because that is the gap fill. We've got these upside gaps as well. So, but you've got, again, divergence there. So we've got on the 4-hour chart, we've got highs going in, we've got higher highs going in, we've got lower highs going in on the RSI. So that is divergent, meaning that there's a good chance of a correction. Now, the market may push today. And we were going to wait for the unemployment rate tomorrow. If that unemployment rate comes out negative tomorrow, they'll use that to take profit on this leg here, and then we'll get a retracement on it. You've also got the CAD yen, which is extended on the 4 to the downside. So again, I said the other day, yen pairs, I'm expecting a correction on all the yen pairs. I think I'm out of all my yens, and I'm not out of all my yens, am I? Yeah. So I've closed all my yens. Can't see them. I could probably move that over, can't I? Recent closed orders. Move that. Am I on? That's not right. 6. So I got out my yens on the 5th. So Euro yen and CAD yen, I exited both of those on the 5th, far too early, as usual. Yeah, that was my exit on the yen pairs. We came down into, it was a good exit. I have no problem with my exit. You can see why. Double top. Yeah, support there. We came back down into support, and as we hit that support, we started to see signs of balls coming in. It did get the bounce, but then it accumulated, they broke through. So nothing wrong with that exit. It's at red price action, right? But obviously markets continued. So watch this level here. This is your previous monthly high. Retest. We accumulated around that area. So 175 ADR to the downside. If you're still short, you want to be looking at exits on that one. Euro yen, I think, was pretty much the same thing. Yeah. So Euro yen, same system. Yeah. Got out at the previous resistance, turned support. We got the bounce. It then bounced again, then we broke it. Now we're sort of accumulating around this level. So not quite as weak on the Euro yen as we are with the CAD. There's no extensions on these either, so they're not new trades to take, but they're all banked anyway. So there we go. So DAX rejection there. So I just missed that short, haven't I? So yeah, so options on DAX, basically, that is either your high just gone in, that 3-bar reversal there. There'll be a lot of people shorting that 3-bar reversal. That's push, pause, pull. Nice short. That would be your high of day. If we're going to put in an M pattern reversal, you want to be aware that obviously they will take that high out potentially and then put the reversal in on the M. or we could put in a lower M pattern reversal. Yeah. Or what we're looking at is pullback continuation on a trend today. So if you're a bull, you bought this, or you're going to buy this candle if you're a bull. So if you're a bull right now and you're waiting for this candle to close for confirmation, that will be your trade. You'll be looking at that propulsion gap to hold, and you're going for new highs. If you're a bear, you're looking at 3-bar reversal short. Obviously, if this is going to be the day where we put that correction in, you got a lovely drop today. 7R, 6R, 5R. You'd be hard pushed not to get 5 or 6R out of a short on this. Timing it, hard bit, isn't it? So those are your RSIs on the 4-hour. Hourly, there's a few RSIs. Again, US dollar CAD, same thing. So US dollar CAD's extended on the 4-hour with divergence. US dollar CAD is also extended on the hourly. We're making new highs. We've got kind of a little bit of a bearish divergence going in from that high there, but it's really embedded up here. I'm very surprised at how strong the dollar is, considering what Trump's just done. He's jeopardizing NATO. He's jeopardizing his relationship with Europe, with the UK, Norway, not Norway, whoever it is that owns Greenland, one of them, innit? He's just saying that you're going to just take Greenland as well. He's kind of turning into a Putin, isn't he? But so I'm quite surprised how much backing there is for the dollar at the minute. But this quite possibly is profit taking before that. This dollar's obviously very, very weak at the moment. We know that. If you go out onto higher time frames, it's very clear the dollar's not doing well. So we had the big drop, accumulation, and we came back into where we sold hard here, and we resold twice. So it's kind of trying to put in a higher low, but realistically what we're doing, contracting at the lows, which is typically bearish. So I wouldn't want to be long in the dollar at the minute, but we've got news tomorrow, so see what the unemployment rate brings. Okay, so stall out on the DAX. Nice wicks to the downside though, so bulls trying very hard to take control again. Kind of like that for a little short. So risk reward on that is very high. If we break down below the session moving average and the standard moving average, that is that propulsion gap fill. That is where I would potentially look at taking a second order today. So if I'm going to sell with a pending order, I'll be looking somewhere under there, reduce risk down. So just take a smaller lot size on it, keep the risk in the same place, because if this is the high of the day, it's the high of the day. And then obviously that add-on gives me a further, I think that was about 7R. So that gives me a further 2.5R add-on if it holds, but it may be a trend day. If we're in a trend day, you want to be buying this. I've had a good week, so I'm going for the big R's. Can you check gold? I can have a look at gold. Not really going anywhere at the minute. So retested propulsion, which is held. They've resold that. There's your reversal alert gone in there. So all-time highs keep getting taken out, don't they? We sold that very nicely. Retested that area and then slammed straight through it, but we came back down under the previous high very quickly over the Christmas break. So if this is the start of the correction, of which this is, as you can see, massively overdue, Yeah, got a long way to go down. But that's going to require a very strong dollar. This is the thing I don't think gold's got in its favor at the moment, is a strong dollar. So really hard to know what gold's going to do over the next few weeks. But right now it's bearish. You've had a reversal short. We're just coming into this previous propulsion move, which we rebought, and we rebought again, but has failed. So if this breaks the low of the day today, coming back down into here, so you could easily get an ADR today on this. There's a gap fill as well to complete. Now, gaps over Christmas period are a little bit, I'm always a bit unsure whether they're really gaps. It's just slippage, liquidity dries up. So yes, you're going to get gaps. Whether they're realistic gaps that people are caught offside on and there's unfinished business to complete with the banks, you can't tell. So there is a gap fill though at 125 ADR, which is completion of that propulsion move there. So that'll be my target to the downside, 125 ADR. If it gets there. Out the highs. As a quick stop out, wasn't it? So it's basically we're in a trend day by the looks of things. So I don't trade this at all. Trying to trend trade at all-time highs is just counterintuitive for me. I don't do it. So if you're a bull today, you're just looking for pullback continuations. So that wasn't really much of a pullback, was it? If you look at that leg that we put in today so far at the open, I have to zoom out on this a bit. You'd be looking at getting up to somewhere around about the 25,350 mark. If this is a pullback continuation, measure that initial leg, assume that is the pullback, you'll probably get the same size leg go back in again, second leg. So if you measure on a chart when legs go in, yeah, you'll typically get them try to double that leg, which is what we've just done today. So that move there, as you pull back, it's gone straight up into that measured move and then pull back again. So I would look at, yeah, continuation. So just trying to buy the pullbacks, not my type of trading though. So I've got the ORB long still. So I'll just trail that second half. Why is my profit today not showing? It's weird. Right, that's all for analysis today. There's a lot of dailies. I put the daily RSI on my dashboard for the moment, just because I'm looking for position trading opportunities. A lot of these markets at the moment aren't moving massively. I mean, most of them are now, actually. They've picked up a bit in the last week, as you can see. But I was looking for daily RSI extensions, mainly for scalping opportunities. So when we're getting up to these daily levels, I'm looking intraday to try and start a short playoff and that I can hold for 3 or 4 days. Because if you can get into shorts or longs, whichever, obviously, on these massive extensions, you can hold them multi-day and make some very nice money adding into them. So I've just been looking at opportunities on the dailies to try and take some shorts. All these Aussie pairs, as you can see, we are really extended, especially Aussie yen, because it's been so weak. But we're really extended on them. Aussie New Zealand yesterday got a beautiful correction candle. Again, potentially we're looking for correction on this leg, so pulling back down into the 24.72 moving average, which is where we pull back into in trends. So you've got propulsion gap to the downside, so there's loads of downside potential there on that one, which I'm already short Aussie New Zealand. So just single, it's 2 on that now, actually. Also to the downside, you've got Euro odd, which is obviously the opposite side of the Australian dollar. That started beautifully. So we got that extension beyond the 80 level yesterday. 15-minute reversal alert and hourly, I think, there's your 15-minute reversal alert went in yesterday. Absolutely perfect at the bottom of the day. So great little move on that one off of this extension. Anything that gets beyond the 80 level, I've got it set up to 70-30 just to warn me that things are getting close. But anything that gets to 80-20 on the daily time frame, always good to just look for intraday counter trend trades, because when that move does correct and it starts, it tends to be very quick, as you can see. So when we get that, if you can pick that bottom, usually it takes a couple of attempts to get it. If you do get it, the risk reward on them is phenomenal. In fact, I don't even use risk reward, just hold it and wait. But any opportunity to find any mean reversions, which are long-term holds, so there's lots of those at the moment. Most of them at the minute obviously are Australian dollar based, because obviously we've had these huge moves. We had lots of negative news on the Australian, well, I say not lots of negative, but we had negative news on the Australian dollar this week. So the CPI did come out bearish. We were expecting a 3.6. We got a 3.4. So that is really good. I think there's a good chance that we'll get a decent move off the back of this with interest rates now. So I think potentially we could kickstart a multi-week move on the Australian dollar, but we'll have to wait and see. It doesn't happen straight away. We are obviously looking at correction candlesticks at the moment. As long as we get inside bar on yesterday, which is going to be hard to break. We're going to need a 125 ADR day today after a 150 ADR, 175 ADR day yesterday. It's not likely to happen, is it? I think, no, maybe it was 125 yesterday, something like that. Big anyway. So, so looking for corrections on all of those. So lots of RSI extensions. This Aussie CAD's probably the best at the minute. Lovely upside rejection, and we've had a bit of a downside rejection today so far, but looking for short opportunities on this. So wait for reversal alerts short. Pushes into propulsion gaps, rejections of those propulsion gaps. So just looking for that structure to change back down to the downside. They're all coming out of extensions to the upside, so lots of movement down. Nice M pattern forming there on the 4 hour. Break that low, coming back down into this propulsion move here. Lots and lots of opportunities, but it's early in the year as well. It's always a bit tricky taking trades at this time of year. Let's see what this DAX is up to. So pulling back again on the DAX, another inside bar. So you might find traders looking to buy a test of this wick. So this propulsion gap here, once that's tested, might be looking to buy longs there. So it's not for me though. Don't really take those trades. Looks like pound CAD. Looks pound CAD for you more like we break that monthly high to the upside, or more like we pull back? Pound CAD. It's monthly rejection, isn't it? So that propulsion move, in fact, it's those 3 candles. So you got this 12-hour move here, which was just solid selling, and then we had a continuation on it as well. They retested that and sold it again, came up, they sold it again, came back up into that propulsion move, sold it again, came up into that propulsion move, started the move, sold it again. We're there again. So for me, I can see that we are sort of starting to get gradually bullish, but it's a range, isn't it? So it's a multi-month range. So you're rejecting the monthly high from last month, which is this propulsion sell here at the moment. So if you want to sell this, you've got tiny risk, and reward would be down to this area here. So you've got 3 targets on this. That weekly high, you've got this weekly high, which is a double top, which is this propulsion gap. And then you've got obviously the close of the propulsion gap. So that's lovely short. If we're going to break that high, obviously, you'll be looking at coming up into here, retesting that low, which is that propulsion move there. So doing that or that. I can't tell you which, because if I knew that, I'd do it. But it will be going up or down. It'll be going up or down to those areas. So if you're short it down into there. If you want to long it from here, I mean, you're kind of taking a flag break long, aren't you? So going up into there. That's what I can see, but where it's going, I have absolutely no clue. Morning, Mayor. How are we going? Right. I think that's all I've got for this morning, really. Yeah, so that Aussie CAD that I'm in at the moment, obviously that is an obvious target to the downside. So this leg here, that's a 38 retracement back into the monthly high. You got 61.8 retracement, which will bring you back roughly into the previous monthly high. If we're continuing bullish price action, bullish market structure, that's what I'll be looking for. So that's the closest target. I always get out the closest target, put the money in the bank. Other than that, everything else is kind of just doing its thing, isn't it? At the minute, we're just waiting. So I'll look at the DAX again this afternoon when we do the members stream. So members this afternoon, 2:00. If there's any members in here, don't know if there is. But yeah, so I don't know who anybody is now because everybody's changed all their names, or YouTube has. So yeah, so back this afternoon, 2:00 for the members stream. Obviously, we normally do Fridays, but this week I've got to go and pick up a car tomorrow. But it's like 170 miles away. So I bought a car blind from a dealer 170 miles away. So normally, obviously, I do Fridays, but we're here today, and then we're going to do this one this afternoon at 2:00. So we'll trade the DAX. There's not really any news this afternoon that we can look at trading. We've got unemployment claims which will have come out beforehand. So we'll do that. So this afternoon's session is going to be kind of more of a Q&A session for members. We'll go through the position trader account a little bit more as well. And when the market opens, we'll see if we can make money out of the DAX, the US indices, the NASDAQ and the Dow. But yeah, I'm not around at all tomorrow, which is annoying because tomorrow is the news day. So all the news trading opportunities are going to be tomorrow, and I'm not going to be here, which is really annoying. But anyway, I'm already short on pound CAD. You're already short on it. So yeah, so you're in from here, I guess, from earlier this week. I mean, you got this massive propulsion move, but when you look at this week's charts, everything that you see happening here on Monday is basically a massive influx of orders that have been sitting around for 2 weeks. Yeah, so there's not been enough volume or liquidity that is not over the counter transactions between banks. There's not been enough liquidity generally in the market to get big orders filled. So what you always see usually when you come back after the sort of New Year break is a large day or a large couple of days or even a large week a lot of the time, because you're getting that influx of orders. So you can't necessarily read this as, oh my God, they're buying the crap out the pound or they're selling the crap out the CAD. It's just the weight of orders that day made that move happen. So this is why I think you're kind of sitting in shock for 2 days, because it's not really a move, it's just orders. So it has coincidentally stalled out now 3 times at the previous high, which obviously means there are still sellers in the market here. So this could go either way. If it breaks out to the upside, obviously, it would indicate that, yes, this is proper buying and they're rebuying, in which case then you know where you're going. But, you know, it's the same as any trade, isn't it? It doesn't matter how much technical analysis you do, how experienced you are, you have a coin flip. So either it is going to go up or it's going to go down. If it's going down, look at where it's going and target that. If it's going up, look at where to scale in and then average out. That's all we do, position traders. We don't know anything more than anybody else. We just know how to extract money from market movement. That's the difference. Most people are blindly trying to buy the lows and sell the highs, pick the top of the day, pick the bottom of the day, and they fail all the time. But position trading, we don't care whether we're accurate. We care about the market moving. As long as the market moves, you make money. So if you're in it, brilliant, you've got a short position on. You're in short. So you just wait. I can't help you with it. Market will help you or the market won't help you. If the market doesn't help you, you change your price. After you've changed your price, you wait for the market to help you. And if it doesn't help you, you change your price again. That's all we do, isn't it? We just change our price to be more favorable. I'm looking at that one because I'm not in that one. Buyers stepping in at the wick test. So that's a decent buy. Potentially. The candle's just closed. There you go. So there's a nice rejection at wick. So if this is going to trend up, that's a nice rejection. You could place a pending order if you want to wait for confirmation that we are actually having some bullish price action. That's a decent trade. And then look at a measured move up, depending on how aggressive you want to be. So this is the pullback continuation. So if this is the pullback, that move there, potentially a target. 1.4. I can't do that though. I just cannot take. If we weren't at all-time highs, I'd be interested in looking at a trend day. Like yesterday was a great example of a trend day, wasn't it? Yeah. Same thing yesterday, wasn't it? But this is really aggressive trend trading. This is parabolic trend. I don't like this type of trading at all. Some people thrive on it. I can't do it. I can do it. I just don't like it. I just can't. For me, after you've done something that parabolic, I know the market wants to correct to a larger extent. Look at yesterday. The market will want to correct for quite a few bars. Yeah, when you get a big, strong move up, it wants to correct. So I'm always looking for a 50% correction. I love 50% retracements. Yeah, 50% retracement right now is back into propulsion. That's where I'm interested. Moving averages or propulsion. This sort of trading where you're like trying to pick the exact entry and then trying to get a quick scalp out of it. Not me. But anyway, it's working. What car? I'm getting a Volvo. A Volvo EX30, which is a electric. So yeah, going back to I had a iX3 BMW and loved it. Electric, full electric, brilliant. And I had another electric before that. And I've just gone back to a petrol car. And I'm finding that when you put your foot down in a petrol car, it goes, I'll think about going at some point soon. Yeah, that car's coming and you thought you were pulled out and you haven't. And now I'll go. Yeah, I can't bear the lag of petrol cars anymore. After you've driven electric, full electric, going back to petrol is just hideous. So I've I'm going to dump my petrol car and go back to electric again. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. But it's. I was trying to find a decent one that I wanted at the right price, and unfortunately, it's miles away because they're new. They're only a year and a bit old. So, and they've just had a recall on them as well, which is great. They've been catching fire. So it's not only going to be a fun car to drive, it's also dangerous. And it's a Volvo, which is obviously the safest car on the planet. But yeah. But realistically, they've sold 130,000 of them and 26 of them have caught fire. It's better than Tesla's record. So yeah. I love taking risks. Exactly, yeah. So yeah. If I'm not here on Monday, you know why. It's a three and a half hour drive back. And if I'm not here, that's why. Also, we've got a storm coming in. It's been snowing massively where I'm going to pick the car up from. So, yeah, I've got snow, storms, rain, and a car that has potential to catch fire. I like living on the edge. So, upside rejection in the DAX. So the last 10 minutes candles, both indecision now. So that 10-minute block there, in fact, that 15-minute block there, market isn't able to make new highs. So that sort of confirms my suspicion that we're going to need a pullback into propulsion. So trying to pick the high today, if you do get it, and we are going bear, there's a hell of a, I keep saying there's a big reward available today on that. Nice bear candle. That's worth a punt. So this is indecision followed by indecision. Yeah, so that is bullish indecision, bearish indecision. If this next candle is bear, that's confirmation that the bulls have not been able to make a new high. So the high of the day potentially has gone in. So if this is a bear candle, I'd be looking for an add underneath that previous order. So potentially adding under there would be a good additional short. Same thing, really. So that's the previous day's high. So if we close back down below the previous day's high, that's a confirmation that this is a rejection upside today. If this is going to be a bear candle today, this is where we are right now. That is where we're going to end up. Yeah, 10 days up, 10 days higher lows, higher highs. We're looking for a correction. Big rewards on the table potentially today. Obviously, that's quite a conservative short. That's an intraday short. If you want to hold multiple days, you're looking for a correction of that leg at least, aren't you? So watching this area here, potentially, which is going to be your 50% retracement. So I doubt we'll take out the previous day's low today because it was quite a bull day yesterday, wasn't it? But could do. A lot of downside, but see if it's projecting nicely now. So two options. You can either place a pending there and assume that this is the high of the day, add in some more here. If that's the high of the day, obviously what we're going to do is potentially put in an M pattern reversal, which means that your stop loss up there will be safe. Other option you've got to add into this is to wait for this propulsion gap to be tested, see if they bounce out of that propulsion gap. If they do, start adding somewhere around here as they're coming back down and assume that that low is going to get broken. As soon as that low gets broken, move these stops down, protect that first position, and then just gradually trail your stops down as the market drops. But see, but it's a good trade. risk reward wise if it works out. Right, so I'm back this afternoon for members at 2 o'clock. We'll do some testing, some analysis of the ORB trades. I'm going to go through the Q&A, see if there's any Q&As. I don't think there's any Q&As in the... no, there's no Q&As in the Discord channel. So I'll see if there's any Q&As that have come up. Other than that, we'll basically see what's happened with the news this afternoon. There might be a news trading opportunity off of unemployment claims. I'll be coming on at 2, which is like half an hour in. Likelihood is any news trading opportunities will have gone within those first 15 minutes, but we'll have a look at that potentially as well. And then prepare for tomorrow. So I'm not around tomorrow, so I want to make sure that my US dollar exposure is fairly minimal. In fact, I've just taken a US dollar CAD. Look, there we go. So flip short. So I'm out of the longs. So the EA has just got me into a short, obviously because we're above 75 extension. We must have just had a close below moving average on the 5-minute chart. No. Why has that got me in short? I'll have to have a look at what my settings are. But yeah, short on that. I don't mind being short on that at all. So first entry on the hourly RSI extension and obviously 4-hour RSI extension. So either H4 or H1 mean reversion, you're in potentially. And second entry will be up here. If we get a 150 ADR today, I'll be taking a second today on that as well. Get the average in there and then looking for negative news tomorrow. But could be positive news. You never know. Isn't live stream for members planned for tomorrow? No, today. As I said earlier, I've put it in the, if you're a member, Peter, I don't know if you are a member, but if you are a member, put it in the members Discord. And I put a message out yesterday in announcements. So if you have a look at the announcements, there's a change to scheduled streams announcement went out yesterday. So yeah, it says Friday. We'll still say Friday on the timetable. Yeah, it's all in the messages. Check messages. Discord. If you're a member, you need to be in the Discord group. I don't know why I'm looking over there. The camera's here. Your chat's over there. But yeah. It's all in the members Discord. If you're not in the members Discord, get in the members Discord. And obviously, just pay attention to any announcements. I push announcements out in here, basically, in the members site as well. But yeah, I can't change the day. I can change the day, but what I'll have to do, if I want to change the day, if I want to change the live calendar to Thursday, I have to change the whole weekly forecast for all of them because it's a recurring event. I'd have to change the recurring event to Thursday and then tomorrow change it all back to Friday again. So I just put an announcement out just to say, forget that, it's today. So it's today, 2 o'clock. Thursday, I'll change it, look, here you go. Where are we? H3, there we go. Just for you, Thursday members stream. Right, I'll be back this afternoon. That still says Friday. That was a hack. So it still says Friday, but it is this afternoon. That's playing out nicely, that trade. So I'll be back on Monday if you're not a member. And then we'll do usual on Monday. Monday streams are all back to normal. So good luck with non-farm payroll tomorrow if you're trading it. Bear in mind, obviously, stock indices will be all over the place because non-farm payroll, or rather the unemployment rate, which is what is the market is reacting to, is at 1:30 an hour before the open. So there's an argument for not doing any ORB on non-farm payroll day because quite often the market's done 100% of its average daily range before the market opens. So just be aware of that tomorrow if you are going to be trading. All right, so have a good day. If you're around this afternoon for member stream, I will see you then. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Have a good one.
charts attack. Candlesticks, they spark the track. Lead move silent, market crack. Profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex. Numbers dance, what's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. West fact buzz and traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, Lee's got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures his domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire. Spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads. Fibonacci match the seeds. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guy. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead the reason markets run.